I'm jealous of you anime-onlys, I really am, because when it comes to the anime adaptation of Boku no Hero, it's honestly better than the manga. For a very long time now, I've always wanted to prove to you anime-onlys that the anime was way better than the manga. And so today's video, I want to break down episode 3 and showcase how the anime surpassed the manga. And the chapters I will be covering with, My Hero Academia Season 3 Episode 3 is chapters 72 and chapter 73. Now, to begin, let's talk about this first sequence that started at the beginning of the episode for episode 3 of My Hero Academia. We see it to where Class B, they're walking outside, and it's early morning, and you can see how they're very tired. And you can see how, in the manga, you can see they're tired and all that, but when you look at the anime, you can clearly see just by the way the background is done, to the way the character movements are done, that, there was just more life put to the scene, and where this scene clearly surpasses the manga. I mean, you can even tell that it's like early morning just by the way the sky is done. So just this scene alone, it far surpassed the manga, and this was just the start of the episode. Now, one of the big scenes that actually was very different compared to the manga was seeing all of the characters and what they're trying to improve. For instance, Todoroki, what he's trying to improve, what Bakugo is trying to improve, what, Ochiko is trying to improve, what Tsuyu's trying to improve. Like, all of our individual characters, they're trying to figure out ways to surpass their limits with their quirks. That was the entire point of this beginning segment of the episode, like this little mini montage. And as you can see by, the manga panel on screen, this is pretty much all there was to the training. You got to see the individual characters and how they're trying to improve and all that, and, how they're trying to surpass their limits, but overall, it wasn't really dived into in detail on what they were trying to do. In fact, later on in the chapter, we have Aizawa-sensei talk about how certain individuals need to improve on certain parts of their quirk, like, Sero, how he needs to extend his tape and all that, and you can see this through Aizawa, and in that moment when he was discussing this in the manga, the panel was actually black. So Studio Bones took the liberty, or artistic liberty, to go out of their way and expand upon this scene and make it, more enjoyable while it explains what these individual characters are trying to improve on. Now, another very iconic scene that really I was looking forward to seeing was the Wild Wild Pussycats. Getting to see the Wild Wild Pussycats finally introduced, and in the manga, they each have their own little catchphrase they're saying, like, rock on with these sparkling gazes, they kind of lend a paw and help, and all of that, and basically, you can see from the manga panel that they are just, they're getting ready to pose. And then when they finally do pose, this was just a cut straight to them posing. But in the anime, you actually see, like, more along the lines of, like, a transformation sequence you would see in, like, a Magical Girl series or something, as they slowly start to pose, which I feel like just brings a lot of life to the scene, especially since the Wild Wild Pussycats are supposed to be very lively. Now, the next sequence that I really thought was well done in episode 3 of My Hero Academia Season 3 was the Kota stuff with Izuku. When Izuku walks over to Kota to try to give him food and all that, you get to see how Studio Bones, they actually made the perspective of the scene a lot better. For instance, in the manga, as you can see, the cliffside looks very small. It looks like Izuku and Kota could just fall off like it's nothing, like there's barely any space for them to walk on. But in the anime, there's a lot of space. You can see how Studio Bones extended the cliff a little bit to make it look like the perspective that there is a lot of the cliff instead of just like a sheer, drop off that you see in the manga. Kota's facial expressions, to also showcasing how he's alone and all that with the cave entrance. It just overall, Studio Bones made this scene a lot more impactful because of just how the camera angles were done. Now, one other little quick scene that was probably one of the most iconic scenes of the episode was the Mina stuff. Her facial reaction. Now, as you can see on screen, you can see Mina's, facial reaction. Her face is of utter shock and all that. And it looks really good. The artwork is very impressive. But, I mean, when you look at, the anime version of this, you can actually see how much better it really is. Maybe at the end of the day, the artwork in the manga does look better, but if you notice, the panel jumps from a normal face of Mina to her reaction face. But in the anime, you actually see the frames in between the sequence as she slowly changes her facial expression, which, you know, Studio Bones didn't really need to do that. They could have just zoomed in on the face, and that could have been it. They could have just, you know, changed it from, like, you know, a standard face to a shock face, but they didn't do that. They actually went out of their way to add in her face changing slowly, which that right there just shows how much work and effort they are putting into little scenes like this. Then, the last one, which, you know, I know many might not care as much about as me, but the Tokoyami stuff, when he was, you know, saying Banquet of Darkness and all that throughout the episode, and, you know, Ochiko's like, he said it again. In the manga, it's just one panel showcasing all of, you know, the characters in, you know, Class A. And you can see how it's just like a zoom out and all that, and they're just talking. But in the anime, it actually zooms into Tokoyami saying Banquet of Darkness, and Ochiko saying he said it again. So, it's like where they added more to the scene. They wanted to really focus on Tokoyami for this moment, which I truly appreciate. Those are just a few examples of how the anime far surpasses the manga, and I just wanted to show you anime onlys why, you know, I'm really loving the anime so much of My Hero Academia. I don't know how many of you guys really care about this video, I'm going to be honest here, but, I mean, if you guys would like more of this type of content in the future, you know, let me know. I may do more stuff like this for future upcoming episodes, just do side-by-side comparison of the anime and manga to show how it improves on the original source. But with that being said, I love you guys. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. Chibi out.